Hi, I'm Chloe, and I'm a child genius. This is what my older sister always thought. She raised me instead of mom and dad. Please like, subscribe to the channel, and listen to my story. I was 6 when my friend invited me to her birthday party. There were so many sweets. Mountains of ice cream and candy, rivers of cotton candy, and a huge cake as tall as me. I wanted to taste everything. I ate whatever I wanted that day and I couldn't stop. At some point, I felt that my skin got unbearably itchy and I was covered in spots. It became hard to breathe and I lost consciousness. I woke up in the hospital and saw the tear-stained face of my sister, who was listening to the doctor attentively. Chloe had anaphylactic shock. If the ambulance had been delayed even for a couple of minutes, no one would have helped her. Your little sister was saved by a miracle. Not only sweets can provoke this condition. Carefully monitor her diet and don't leave her unattended. The doctor warned my sister. And she was scared out of her wits. I was the closest person she had, and she didn't want to lose me again so stupidly. And since then, she forbade me to play outside and communicate with other children. In addition, I was transferred to homeschooling. Chloe, baby, it's a good thing. Through the school system, the government is doing everything to make children grow up stupid. You're more fortunate than others. You're a brilliant girl, and at home, under my supervision, you will keep and develop your uniqueness. Of course, I was frustrated about not going to school like normal children, and I didn't quite understand why the government would want to make me stupid. I thought about it a lot and came to the conclusion that I definitely didn't want to be stupid. When my sister left for work, I was bored and lonely, so I started a YouTube channel which I called the Child Genius Diaries. And soon I got some subscribers. On the channel, I shared everything that I studied myself. I really wanted to help keep the intelligence of those children who are forced to go to school and, according to my sister, become dumb. It's me, Chloe the Child Genius. Today we'll analyze the multiplication table. This is how I started my live streams. But the comments I received on the channel made me very upset. What kind of nonsense is this? Every child knows the multiplication table. These are not Child Genius diaries. They're the Stupid Girl diaries I read under my videos. But my sister convinced me that these children were just jealous of me, and they were trying to confuse me, and that there is no doubt of my outstanding abilities. When I was 15, I went out onto the balcony and admired a bright butterfly with huge wings. It fluttered so close to me that I could reach it. I tried to catch it, leaning over the railing and leaning most of my body off the balcony, and in a second, I realized I was falling down. My whole life flashed before my eyes, but luckily I landed in the bushes and didn't break anything. But literally a minute later, I felt a terrible itch all over my body and my face began to swell. Everything was repeating exactly like it happened when I was a child. My sister, who was returning from work, called an ambulance and I was taken to the hospital. "You made a big mistake," the doctor said to my sister. "Chloe's immune system hasn't developed properly from being within 4 walls all the time. And as a result, the risk of anaphylaxis attacks reoccurring increases many times over. But you can fix this situation. To do this, your sister must go to school and start communicating with other children." The doctor gave his verdict. My sister was totally against it. She was talking her regular nonsense about the government and the fact that I'll become dumb in school, but I didn't listen to her, and I was very angry. It turns out that I spent so many years in prison like Rapunzel, and all for nothing. I blamed my sister for my loneliness and my lack of friends, and I thought she was a liar. So I didn't talk to her for a whole week, and as a result, she gave in and allowed me to go to school. Chloe, you're right. You're all grown up, and you have to make your own decisions. I'm just scared for you, but now I'm not gonna stand in your way. And then the day came when I went to school for the first time. Maybe it was 8 years later than other children, but I was just as excited. My sister gave me a whole box of masks to protect my fragile body from the influence of pathogenic flora. And of course, I didn't want to look like a fool on the first day. But having another attack was also not a great idea, so I put on the mask. When I entered the classroom, the teacher wasn't there yet. The children were making loud noises and discussing something, paying absolutely no attention to me. Then I jumped right on the desk and loudly introduced myself. "Hello, classmates. My name is Chloe, and I'm a child genius. Most likely you've seen my YouTube channel and know who I am. You're very lucky. I will now study with you and help you in everything. Please don't be afraid of my intelligence and don't be jealous." At first, everyone fell silent for a moment, listening to my pompous speech. But then they started laughing loudly and whispering. My humiliation was interrupted by the teacher coming in. I was very angry and decided to show off my knowledge in front of these stuck-ups. But I didn't know the answer to any of the teacher's questions. It was the same in all subjects, and at the end of the day, I realized that I was very far behind my classmates. There were many gaps in my knowledge, and it turns out I'm not a child genius. My sister lied to me about that, too. Chloe, your background leaves much to be desired. It sometimes happens with homeschooled children. Most likely, we'll have to transfer you to another class with kids several years younger than you. It will match your level of knowledge. But we'll make our final decision after this test. The principal will set the date, the English teacher told me. Her words threw me into a state of shock. I knew that I wasn't doing very good, but this is too bad. I was the dumbest girl in school, and yet I decided not to give up and start preparing for the test today. When I was going to the library to get the books I needed, I was knocked down by my classmate. I hit the back of my head really hard and was lying on the floor, cursing everything in the world. This is just what I needed. A classmate named Larry helped me up. But instead of gratitude for giving me a hand, the guy heard my hysterical cries and accusations. The fact that I fell and hit my head hard was the last straw, and I poured all the pain and negativity that were built up inside me in the first day of school into Larry's poor head. The classmate reacted calmly to my emotional storm and even started to sit at my table during lunch without invitation. I didn't mind. Larry was very funny and cute. His jokes and support managed to temporarily disperse the dark clouds gathering in my life. And in the meantime, I literally moved to the library preparing for the test. I was trying to figure out complex mathematical formulas of my own once again, but everything was in vain. I burst into tears and thought that I finally needed to come to terms with the fact that I'm stupid and I won't succeed. And in a moment of despair, I felt a hand on my shoulder. It was a very handsome senior student. His name was Peter. He volunteered to help me and spent hours with me in the library after class, helping me figure out all the complexities. I was happy to have such a friend, but there was one strange thing in our relationship that confused me a lot. Responsive Peter ignored me during school hours for some reason and didn't even say hi to me when he saw each other in the school corridor, like I was an empty space. And once I asked my friend what was the matter, to which he replied, "Chloe, you're an extraordinary girl. You're different, and my friends are not very fond of those who stand out in the crowd. I act like this because I care for you and want to protect you from unnecessary problems at such a difficult and important time in your life." When Peter was saying this, he lowered my mask, which I wore all the time, and admiringly added, "You're so beautiful." Of course I thought so, but I couldn't even imagine how perfect you are. After these words, my friend kissed me so tenderly that I felt millions of butterflies flutter in my stomach. However, after this incident, Peter's behavior in public didn't change at all, and for some reason, Larry sadly joked about me looking at this guy so often that it looked like I wanted to put a hole in his back. But I still believed that I could change the format of secret meetings that had developed in our relationship with Peter. Once after school, my sister and I went shopping, and I chose a new stunning outfit for myself. I put on makeup for the first time in my whole life and was satisfied with the result. And most importantly, I came to school without a mask. It turns out that in the name of safety, my sister lied to me there too. I could safely do without additional protective equipment and look like a normal person. My new appearance caused a sensation that day. During lunch, there was a line to sit at mine and Larry's table. Everybody wanted to talk to me, as if they saw a different person in me and wanted to get to know them. And Peter stared at me so hard when we met in the cafeteria that he tripped on a smooth spot. But he still sat down at the table with his friends, from where he was glancing at me. But then the unexpected happened. Our new friend treated me to chips. And as soon as I put them in my mouth, I realized that the worst had begun. I was having an attack. It was hard to breathe. From lack of air, my mind went dull, and in front of the whole school I fell on the floor. But after a couple of minutes, I felt a shot in my arm. It turned out that Larry found a fast-acting anaphylactic shock medicine in my backpack, which my caring sister had put in there. My friend was up to the task and injected me with the drug in time. When I came to my senses, Larry helped me up, and I saw that during all this time, Peter did not even move from his seat to help me and was cheerfully discussing something with his friends. I couldn't leave it like that. I couldn't restrain myself, and I told Peter everything I thought about him. I didn't care that people around could hear us. The way he acted had shocked me. Listen, girl, I'm seeing you for the first time, and I don't know who you are. You must have confused me with someone else. Moreover, I have a girlfriend whom I love very much," Peter said smugly. And then everything fell into place. Peter was simply hiding when he was spending time with me. He didn't want us to be seen together. I couldn't resist and hid him. But no one believed me, and everyone at school started calling me a liar. Everyone except Larry. The day I decided that I would never go to school again and broke the news to my sister, I thought she'd be delighted, but she reacted differently. "Chloe, baby, running away from problems won't solve them. It'll only confuse things even more," she said. And I threw a tantrum and shouted, "I hate you, you egoist!" and locked the door of my room. I had something to think about, and the feeling of shame for the words spoken in anger did not leave me. To somehow recover, I was watching videos on the MSP channel when I heard rustling on the balcony, and it was Larry. "Chloe, I need you, but that's not the only reason I'm here. You don't have to leave school because of Peter. When his girlfriend found out about what happened in the cafeteria, she dumped that jerk. Firstly, because she had long suspected that he was cheating on her, and secondly, because he treated you so badly. She slapped him in front of the whole school, and now everyone knows that you're not a liar." Larry told me the latest news. "So, Princess, get your butt off the bed and get ready for the test. The principal appointed it for the day after tomorrow," he added jokingly, and then he kissed me. And that was one of the main reasons why I went back to school and was able to pass the test. Yes, to be close to my new boyfriend Larry, who wasn't hiding me from anyone, and proudly presented to his friends as his beloved girlfriend. It was a new feeling and great happiness. And after successfully passing the test, which the principal couldn't believe, I finally apologized to my sister and took those awful words back. I thanked her and hugged her tightly. "Baby, I'm just trying to fix my mistakes. You will succeed. You're on the right track," she replied.